What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly from last night's Saturday edition of AEW Dynamite, plus all the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a secret new member added to the Bloodline stable, Seth Rollins shades Bray Wyatt, an AEW star calls out Roman Reigns, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now, as always, we won't recap the show, but just provide you with the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, CM Punk on commentary. As CM Punk has been in AEW for 2 months now, and even though Punk has been on AEW television every week, he's still gonna get huge pops from the live audience. Last night's special Saturday edition of Dynamite was no different, as Punk received an enormous reaction right at the top of the show. Although he didn't wrestle on the show, he did perform commentary alongside Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur. Punk was great in the role, and he added a lot of expertise to certain segments and matches on the show. Hilariously, during the main event match between Danielson and Bobby Fish, Punk referred to Bryan as Daniel Bryan. This led to Punk stating that he's going to refer to Bryan as the American Dragon moving forward. Punk doesn't yet have an official match on Full Gear, but there are rumors that he could be facing Wardlow for the first time ever. Number 2, Jon Moxley heel turn? There is some speculation that AEW could be turning Jon Moxley heel. Last night on Dynamite, he squashed Wheeler Yuta, and Moxley is now set to take part in the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament. Fans are speculating that Moxley is slowly changing his attitude and that he's going to culminate with a long overdue heel turn. Fans are also believing that the finals of the tournament will be between Moxley and Bryan Danielson, and this could be the catalyst for Moxley's full-blown heel turn. With Adam Page being rumored to win the AEW World Title at Full Gear, Moxley may be the perfect first opponent for Page, but time will certainly tell. Number 3, Adam Page's promo. Following Adam Page becoming the number 1 contender for the AEW World Title, Page is now set to face Kenny Omega at Full Gear in one of the most anticipated matches in AEW history. Last night on Dynamite, Page came down to the ring and cut a passionate promo to the live crowd. The promo was a true babyface promo which highlighted both Page's motives as well as addressed the past 2 years of his career. Page had the entire audience in the palm of his hand, and if he does indeed win the world title next month, Page will be just fine at the top of the AEW ladder. Number 4, Bryan Danielson vs Bobby Fish. Last night's Dynamite was main evented by Bryan Danielson vs Bobby Fish. The match was an excellent back and forth, which lasted around 12 minutes, and it showed fans just why AEW brought Fish into the company. It was actually great to see a main event match end cleanly, and Bryan's run in AEW has been a massive success so far. As we mentioned earlier, Bryan is set to be part of the Eliminator Tournament, with his first opponent set to be Dustin Rhodes. In relation to Fish, he had a total of 3 matches for AEW since signing with the company, and he's lost a total of 2 of them. It'll be interesting to see what Fish's place is on the card is moving forward, and whether or not Fish will get lost in the shuffle. Number 5, FTR captured the tag team gold. Now, Andrade revealed his mystery team to take on the Lucha Bros last night on Dynamite. It turned out to be FTR under the name of Las Superanas. FTR would wear green masks and bodysuits, which led to fans drawing parallels to the attire WWE Chairman Vince McMahon wanted the duo to wear, leading to handing in their release. But nevertheless, FTR managed to capture the AAA tag titles in the match, and this acted as a fun angle, and it was rather refreshing to see FTR do an angle of this nature. It was also great to see the AEW commentator team not insult the audience's intelligence. Punk & Co never once pretended that it wasn't clearly FTR under the masks, and if this was WWE, the WWE higher-ups would have insisted that Michael Cole pretend that he has no idea who's under the masks. But that was the good. What about the bad? Is number 1, the Cody Rhodes segment. Now, the only segment that stands as being bad from last night's show was a segment involving Cody Rhodes visiting his wrestling academy. In the segment, his students performed a drill on Cody, and the message of the segment was supposed to imply that Cody needs to change how he wrestles in the ring. Now, the idea for the segment was strong, but it was poorly executed, and it was kinda hard to follow. AEW have announced Cody vs Malachi Black for next week's show, so it'll be interesting to see how this segment comes into play. Now, there was nothing downright ugly of this week's show, as although some matches were on the weak side, they certainly had a place on the card and deserved the television time they received. AEW continues to present newer characters such as Malachi Black and Adam Cole extremely well, and they're definitely going to go full steam ahead towards the Full Gear pay-per-view set to take place on November 9th. But what did you guys think of Dynamite last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now, let's move on to the news. Our first bit of news looks at Paul Heyman teasing that a secret new member may have joined Roman Reigns' Bloodline stable. Roman Reigns' Bloodline stable currently consists of Reigns and the Usos, and for some time now, fans have been questioning if they could add another member to the stable. Fans have been rather vocal in the fact that they never believed Naomi should be part of the group. Naomi is married to Bloodline member Jimmy Uso, so it would make perfect sense for her to join the popular stable. According to Paul Heyman, who acts as the advocate for the stable, Naomi may actually already be a part of the group. While speaking to Sportskeeda, Heyman would state, "How do you know she's not already at the table? Because it's not on television? Does everything happen on television? We're on television 2 hours a week, and tomorrow, by the way, 2.5 hours on FS1. That leaves a lot of time for the rest of the week, and when there are machinations and maneuvers and negotiations and strategies and things happening that you don't see on television, how do you know that she is not at the table already?" Exactly. What do you guys think? Is Naomi already part of the Bloodline stable? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Seth Rollins shades Bray Wyatt's firing. And one of the top matches on the Crown Jewel card next week is the Hell in a Cell match between Seth Rollins and Edge. The match will act as the fourth Hell in a Cell match of Rollins' career, having wrestled Kevin Owens, Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt inside the cell. During an appearance on Talking Smack this week, Rollins made a comment in relation to both Ambrose and Wyatt, and Rollins would mention the fact that both were neither with the WWE anymore. During Rollins' promo, Rollins would state, "I've actually spent more time inside the cell than Edge has, and I'm capable of being more dangerous inside the cell than he is. And if you don't believe me, you can just ask the guys that I've been in the cell with. Oh, that's right, 2 out of 3 of them aren't here anymore." Now this is kind of the first time that WWE have alluded to Bray Wyatt's firing in any capacity on WWE programming. Next up, Junior Dos Santos calls out Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns hit the headlines this week after he made rather negative comments in relation to AEW's success. One of the things Roman said which upset a lot of AEW fans, which is that he implied that nobody in AEW was believably tough. Reigns stated, "I don't think anybody really believes someone 200 pounds soaking wet with no explosive bone in their body could ever really do anything. I'm 6'3", 265 pounds, a legitimate athlete who can throw some weight around and has been on the gridiron at the highest level." This was when he was referring to CM Punk. But this led to Junior Dos Santos, who made his AEW debut during Friday's edition of Rampage, tweet, "Hey Roman Reigns, I heard your interview. Please send the address of this club you will throw me and my little brothers out of AEW." Now it looks like it's not just AEW fans that Reigns is upset with his comments. What do you think of Reigns' comments? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, Drew McIntyre mocks WWE's booking. Our final story today takes a look at how former WWE champion Drew McIntyre has publicly mocked WWE's booking. This weekend, WWE announced that tomorrow night on Raw, Biggie will team with Drew McIntyre to take on Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. This acts as a rematch from 2 weeks ago on Raw, in a match which saw Biggie and McIntyre come out victorious. Following the match being officially announced via WWE's Twitter page, McIntyre tweeted the announcement by sarcastically saying, "Well, I'm a sucker for first-time matches." Now, although McIntyre is clearly having some fun by mocking WWE's booking, hopefully WWE sees it that way. But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.